Ever dreamed about starting your own cake business but don't know how to price your creations? Perhaps you're planning on kicking your cake baking passion up a notch and starting your own business. If so, it's very valuable to do your homework. Crunch those numbers and take the time to create a business plan. A key part of a thriving bakery business is figuring out your pricing structure. Welcome to Jotform. I'm Noel. Stick around and I'll give you some helpful tips while figuring out cake pricing at your bakery. Setting prices for custom, beautifully decorated cakes can be tricky. You're aiming for that sweet spot between undercutting your profits and driving customers toward lower cost competitors. Not only are you figuring that out, but you're also maneuvering between two pricing scales, retail and wholesale. Retail meaning direct to the customer, wholesale including restaurants, caterers, grocery stores, and other resellers. So how do you find the perfect pricing? We'll dive into both as we discuss how much to charge for cakes as an independent baker. Pricing is never a one frosting covers all approach. There's no single figure that works for every bakery every time. There are a lot of ways to decorate a cake, and each method carries its own cost burden. Geography also counts. You may not be able to get away with Manhattan prices in a small Midwestern town. Your main question to focus on is, what can I charge and still sell this product? Retail pricing for cakes is driven more by labor than material costs. The cost of ingredients doesn't have a whole lot to do with the price. It's the time, effort, and skill put into baking and decorating that counts. Labor costs are an important element to factor in. More elaborately decorated cakes take longer to complete and must carry a higher price. To make things easy, here's a great jumping off point to look at when creating your baseline costs. For buttercream iced cakes, like a simple wedding or birthday cake, charge $3 to $6 per serving. For extensively decorated cakes, we're talking fondant wraps and ribbons, spun sugar, gum paste flowers, and other extravagant design elements. Charge $6 to $12 per service or more. For pricing purposes, a serving is defined by the caterer's cut, which can be very different from the thick wedges we tend to serve at home. We're talking 10 servings out of a round 6-inch cake, about 25 servings from a 9-inch cake, and around 50 servings from a 12-inch cake. Let's shift out of the retail cake world and into wholesale selling. Wholesale pricing boils down to what the market will bear. Rather than starting with a range of suggested prices, consider these cost elements for wholesale cake distribution instead. Before you decide what to charge a wholesale client, ask your resellers what sort of margin they expect on your product. Understanding how resellers will mark up your price and what the final cost will be to the consumer is important. A lot of supermarkets will double your price. If you take a cake in for $9, they may end up charging the customer $18 when all is said and done. Remember consumer psychology as it relates to the reseller's standard markup. Once you know the markup percentage from your reseller, you can set your price in relation to competing brands. Play around with charging a little less or a little more than your competitors. Don't forget, buyers can be irrational about what they're willing to pay. If most customers don't want to spend over $20, pricing a cake at $9.99 to the reseller means they'll charge around $19.99. This strategy may lead to stronger sales and a bigger reorder. You should also create pricing tiers to simplify account management. The problem with custom hands-on pricing is that you'll give yourself way more work with 50 accounts and 50 different pricing sheets. Your staff has to know everything you do about pricing so they can also effectively take orders. A great habit to get into is to keep it as simple as possible. Try creating 3 different pricing tiers. Then you label each account with one of those tiers so everyone knows what to charge. Today's buyers, in both retail and wholesale, often expect to pay online. So whatever you land on for pricing, try implementing payment forms that integrate with major payment gateways to make paying seamless. Jotform has simple, easy-to-use payment forms that are perfect for your bakery business. A bonus is you don't need to know anything about coding to utilize these forms, and you don't even have to alter your existing website. Just embed the form, connect it to your payment gateway, and start rolling in the dough. Turning your passion into a business can be complex, and knowing what to charge is just one piece of the pie. You also have to make sure you're occupying a unique role within your local market. Find a niche. Is there something you can do that no one else is doing? This is a great way to carve out your own space in the bakery world and stand out among the other businesses offering a similar product. Although creating a successful business is a difficult task, it's so doable. With these helpful pricing tips, your bakery business will be thriving in no time. If you're wondering how much you should charge for cakes, just remember the tips we talked about before. Here's a brief recap. When creating a pricing list for retail sales, charge per serving, and don't compare to giant at-home slices. Base your costs off of caterer cuts. Think, what can I charge and still sell this product? When creating a pricing list for wholesale sales, keep in mind the reseller markup charges. Factor in how much they anticipate selling your product for, and do some research on what customers will be willing to spend. Also, creating pricing list tiers can help streamline and simplify account management. Assigning clients to a tier makes pricing transparent for all employees to follow. Now get to baking. And remember to be unique. Find a niche and carve out a piece of the pie for your bakery business. Until next time, I'm Noel, and this is Jotform.